The Supreme Court battle has just got messier. If you thought you had seen it all, you are wrong. There is much more. Today, for the first time in our history, we are witnessing the mother of all battles and accusation. Before we proceed, do subscribe, like, and leave a comment. We'd like to know your comment about this video and our videos and what you'd like us to cover going forward. The topic of today is simple one. We are looking at what is going on at the Supreme Court between the commissioners and the IEBC as an institution itself. The reports that are reaching us shows that there is no way the Supreme Court may not end up nullifying the whole elections. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because for the first time in history of our country, IEBC itself, through the firm of Issa Mansu, an advocate, sitting in the panel of IEBC, put in a response on behalf of IEBC saying that the election was not free and fair. The IEBC is disputing that the election that it conducted by itself was not free and fair. What more evidence will the court need than such evidence coming from IEBC itself? And why am I saying that it is even going to be messier than we thought? This is a battle that is even fought in the media. Today evening, we have witnessed some of the gravest revelation that cast doubt to the whole election thing. It was like it was a facade, something that somebody organized to hoodwink Kenyans that they went to the polling station and voted, and that their vote counted towards who was going to be the president of the Republic of Kenya. As we all call him, the fifth. But as it is, we cannot ascertain, especially from evidence that is now coming within the ranks of IEBC itself. It was bad enough that the commissioners were pulling from different directions. But now we have a situation where the IEBC chair, Mr. Chebukati, put it in an affidavit on behalf of the commission, which is divided. But if that was not enough, we are now having a situation where IEBC as an institution has put in a response saying that the election was not free and fair. Who does this evidence benefit? The evidence that is before the court, the response by the IEBC through the firm of Issa Mansu, gravely harms William Ruto's case, and indeed the response by Chebukati. Because now we have an institution that is pulling from different directions. Who gave Issa Mansu, who sits on the panel of IEBC, the instruction to put in a response on behalf of IEBC? I had spoken about the issue of commissioners acting on their own behest. Commissioners are supposed to work as a unit. So the moment one or more commissioners decide to operate as if others do not exist, we are creating a bad precedent. And that is now starting to show. It is showing because if 3 can sit down and such sit down exclude 4 and seek to bind the commission and other commissioners on the decisions that they make, and then argue that the quorum of IEBC to operate is 3. The other 4 can also sit down and make a decision on behalf of the commission and say that they met the constitutional threshold for quorum to sit and make decisions on behalf of the IEBC. So the question that we are going to really see at the Supreme Court, particularly with respect to the petition, or rather the response that Issa Mansu has filed on behalf of IEBC and which support the position of Raila Odinga, is the question of representation. Who gave you authority to put in an affidavit or to put in a response on behalf of IEBC? If it is the 4 commissioners, then another question would arise. Did they have that mandate? It is a question of quorum. Did they have that mandate? Of course they are commissioners, and there were 3 of them. And therefore they could conduct business. And that is why when an institution such as the IEBC starts to pull from different directions, it casts doubt in its operation. That is, starting from how they prepared for these presidential elections up to the last point. What is more, which we are also seeing, is the revelations that are now coming out, especially with what was happening deep into the night when Kenyans were asleep. Professors or commissioners, Boya Mulu and Professor Gullier, made serious allegations against Tuju and Amos Wako. Tuju this evening has responded to that allegation, essentially taking the battle to their door, asking them to provide evidence of the allegation. Tuju has actually called them as auctioneers. The question that I ask myself, if he says they are auctioneers and they went to Tuju's home, could it be that they went there to seek for a bribe? Or could it be that they were given a bribe by the other side and therefore were looking for a better deal? All these questions, especially now that a lot of these revelations are coming out, must be asked. At what point did these commissioners decide to visit Raphael Tuju in his home? What is more is that Tuju has said out in public that is going to provide CCTV evidence with respect to what happened in his house. What a messed up situation. But if that is not enough, Tuju has taken the war to Chebukati's doorstep. He has asked Chebukati to explain, how on earth did I make an offer to you to change the results of the presidential election in front of the 10 other people, plus the commissioners? How did that happen? Impossible. And therefore he calls him a liar. Chebukati also made claim that he met Tuju in some secret place, just the 2 of them. Tuju has challenged Chebukati to reveal the contents or the nature of their discussion in their secret place. There are accusations that are going or flying around that there are records. If these records were indeed there of Tuju asking to bribe, why have they not been filed with court so that the public can know about the whole situation and what transpired on that night between either the commissioners and Tuju or the commissioners and any other person that night? What, however, we are left with is a divided commission which Kenyans cannot now truly stand and defend as having delivered a verifiable election. And therefore, the evidence before court and what is now happening reveals and tend to move towards elections being nullified entirely, because now you cannot ascertain who was actually trying to subvert or protect the sovereign will of Kenyans as expressed on 9th of August. our last word for you. Keep it here, because it is still going to be messier. As advocates move on Monday for pre-trial, expect more surprises. We are here for you. We'll provide in-depth analysis of the going-ons and the legal implications of evidence that has been filed so far. If you're a Raila Odinga supporter, be happy, because the evidence that has been presented, at least for now, favors you. We don't know tomorrow. It may be the turn of Kenya Kwanza people to celebrate when, in my estimation, Ruto's lawyers make an application to strike out all the evidence by the commissioners. Until then, kindly subscribe, leave a comment, and like. Thank you very much.